Record of Ragnarok is one of my favorite manga series ever. There are just so many things that go into why I love the series so much and why I think it is deserving of being a contender for one of the best manga series. So much so that I've already made a video about this series, but a distinction between that video and this one is that the first one I made prior to the anime's release. While there are many things I could gush about when it comes to the series, like how well choreographed and impactful the fights are, how well written the characters and the relationship between them are, or even the dichotomy presented through the fights, like whether justice should still triumph over evil, even if that justice may lead to only more evil, while the evil could possibly lead to good. That's not the point of this video. If you've noticed, I said favorite manga series, even though it does have an anime. Well, to understand what I mean, let's turn our heads to everyone's favorite streaming platform, Netflix, and the wonderful way they handle their anime titles. Oh wait. Before I lampoon Netflix for their treatment of Record of Ragnarok, let's actually just look at the series first. Record of Ragnarok's first chapter came out November 25th, 2017, but like I said, we're not really focusing on the manga, so the first season of the anime released on June 17th, 2021. Since this is Netflix, that means all 12 episodes were released at the same time, which totally helped keep it fresh in the audience's mind as the anime season went on. Sarcasm aside, even if they did release them weekly, I don't think that would have helped. Out of anything, it could have probably made it even worse, because at the very least, when the series dropped, and I literally mean dropped, people were quick to move on. I think spreading that suffering over the course of 3 months would have given the show worse of a fate. The reason I say this is because releasing the 12 episodes at once lowered the commitment needed to keep up with the show. If you watched episode 1, you would probably wait to watch episode 2 because it might be better, but by episode 3, you probably wouldn't be as vested in keeping up to see more of it. However, if all 12 episodes came out and you don't have anything better to do, you'd probably just leave it on. Now, I'm leaving out some context while explaining all this, because usually I would say releasing 12 episodes all at once is not the best way to keep an audience invested in your show. But because of how okay it is, releasing all the episodes might have actually saved Record of Ragnarok. I really want to say bad. I want to say that the anime was bad, but it's just minimum. In reality, I'm probably still coping, but the first season was very bare. There's all those jokes about the animation being that of a PowerPoint presentation, and honestly, that's not too far off. Also, another critique is the actual art style and design they went with. It's a bit jarring compared to the manga style due to how different the style and coloring is, but even putting that aside, things like facial features and reactions given by characters are toned down to the point where it, in some cases, changed the feelings a character was trying to portray. For example, look at the finale to Adam vs. Zeus. Geru is devastated in the manga. She looks like she genuinely lost someone she cares about and doesn't know what to do. While in the anime, it looks more like she's shocked that they lost that round. And it's not just her. Look at everyone else's reactions. They basically just panned over this manga panel and put it in the anime. If they're going to do that, they might as well draw the characters' reactions a bit closer to the original at least, if you're not going to animate it. Obviously, an anime can't always look one-to-one with its manga. In some cases, a manga is just so detailed that it's virtually impossible to have it look anywhere close to being as good, because animators still need to be able to animate it. So too much detail can hinder good animation, hence the issue people have with the Record of Ragnarok anime. It's not detailed enough to justify limited animation, and it's not animated enough to justify low detail, thus arriving us back to the conclusion that it's just okay. Like, yup, that's an anime if I've ever seen one. The pictures are moving and I hear sound. It's just the bare bones of what anime is. If I had to give it a rating, I would just give it a rating equivalent to a 70% C. Like, yeah, you didn't do anything bad, but you also didn't do anything exemplary either. You just did it. It's the mediocre ending from FNAF 6.
Congratulations! You've completed a full week on the job, and you've done it in such a lackluster way that no one is proud or disappointed. It's a fine line to walk, but you did it, completing your job with such an efficient level of laziness that we're surprised you're able to dress yourself in the morning. While such a minimalist work ethic is rare, it doesn't mean that we want you back.
They did, in fact, however, come back. Despite the pretty poor reception of the first season, it did manage to get renewed for a second one. In fact, the second season is already out. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't know, because there was virtually no promotion of it, and yet Netflix still fumbled it. I'll get back to that piece in a moment, but looking at it in comparison to the first season, it is significantly better. Though it's still not amazing or really all that good, it is at least better than the first season. The art style has been adjusted slightly, and the colors have been lightened up a little bit, it, which allows for more vibrant scenes and even bigger reactions and facial expressions. I will say that there are times where they rely on still frames, just like the first season, even to the point that at times it was just a shot for shot of the manga, but just with color and music. For example, if I lined up the same panels from Shiva's backstory and showed you a side-by-side of the anime's adaptation of it, there is little difference between the two. But to be fair, it is nowhere near as egregious as the first season. And in the cases that it does happen, like in the example I just gave, it actually works with what's going on in the scene. What I'm trying to say is, the animation in this season is so much better than that of the first. Even if they have to fall back on still frames and shaky cams, the quality of those frames are overall better, and they are done more sparingly as to avoid every other shot being a still frame with a bit of shake to it. Overall, this season is a vast improvement to the first, to the point I think it's at a level where, despite not being a top tier 10 out of 10 amazingly animated fluid anime, it's definitely worth watching now. And seeing how much it has improved, I'm excited to see where it goes and how much better it can get. In all honesty, I've probably been a bit harsher towards this series because I care for it so much. So to be fair, let me highlight two things that I think the anime hit perfectly on the head. The first is the voice actors. I think the voice actors they picked for each character were fucking amazing. As much as I love the manga, the voice actors are the biggest plus to watching the anime over it. I don't know where else to put this information, but the voice actor for Jack also plays Joseph from part 2, and the voice actor for Heracles plays Diavolo. So that I thought was pretty cool. The other thing is the music. The music in Record of Ragnarok slaps. Jack's theme of London Bridge and Shiva's theme go so fucking hard. Season 2 really ramped up the music, but the music starting from season 1 has consistently been amazing and has only gotten better. It's just hard to put in words how great the music is and how well it fits each character and the moments they're played in. Going back to what I said about Netflix fumbling it, however, I say that because there are only 10 episodes out for season 2 currently. The listed episode count is 15, so in classic Netflix fashion, they're trying to dip their nuts in both weekly and binge release models. They release a whole bunch of episodes all at once so you can binge it, but you still have to wait a couple months to finish it. At that point, why not just air the episodes weekly so that way you don't finish the season in one day and then have to wait months to watch the remaining episodes? Though I don't like the binge model of releasing every episode in a day, I think a hybrid between the binge and weekly model makes it worse because you don't get the benefits of either. You don't get the weekly benefit of keeping the series at the forefront of the audience's mind for longer, and you don't get the binge benefit of being able to complete and feel satisfied with watching a story be told all the way through. So that's where we arrive back at the question, did Netflix ruin Record of Ragnarok? Were they the ones who produced an inadequate adaptation of a series many people were hyped for? No. Strangely enough, despite them slapping the label of Netflix original onto it, it was produced by Warner Bros. Japan. Netflix only has the licensing to stream it. It's an original since you can't find it anywhere else, but it's technically not their production, which goes to show the danger of anime exclusivity and just slapping your label onto a show and calling it yours. Despite what many people might think, the only thing Netflix did to ruin Record of Ragnarok was release it in a weird way, which is kind of funny considering Netflix's recent track record of horrible decisions. So, Netflix, you get a pass. You can walk away from the situation knowing that you're not entirely to blame for everything that happens. Just don't do anything that'll ruin that image for you. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. Also, follow me on Twitter to keep up with whatever I got going on. Also, I live stream both on this channel and my Twitch channel pretty frequently, so if you see me live, hop in chat, say hi, I'd love to have you. Anyways, love the Record of Ragnarok manga. It's just so amazing. I'm finally catching back up with it now, and I actually enjoyed watching the second season, so I'm excited to see how the rest of it is whenever it comes out. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you haven't already, watch the anime, read the manga. I'll see you in the next one.